My name is Julia Tittelbach. I'm a policy researcher at Vocal Europe, and today I'm talking about 9 foreign policy challenges facing the European Union in 2021. First of all, in the Western Balkan region, the EU restarted and took a leading role in the Belgrade-Pristina dialogue. This year it will be crucial to follow up on any improvement in the relationship between Serbia and Kosovo. Furthermore, the EU will need to have a closer look on the upcoming elections in Albania, Montenegro and Kosovo, and in this context, on the democracy and security developments. Eventually, countries like Albania and North Macedonia are expecting the opening of EU accession talks. Number 2. Despite the EAP, instability in the region prevails. Witnessing the violent repressions of peaceful protests in Belarus, the EU agreed only slowly on a limited set of sanctions and failed to provide concrete support to the Belarusian civil society. In the wake of the war in Nagorno-Karabakh, it was Russia who sent peacekeeping forces and brokered an armistice agreement. Looking at Georgia right now, the intensifying conflict poses yet another test to the EAP. Therefore, it becomes clear that the EU will have to address its lacking influence and soft power effectiveness. Number 3. The EU faces destabilization in the Eastern Mediterranean due to illegal gas explorations and military activities by the Erdogan administration and its Memorandum of Understanding with Libya. Responding to Ankara, the EU has imposed comprehensive sanctions and suspended pre-accession funds under the current multi-annual financial framework 21-27. Yet, it remains to be seen how the EU will proceed, as EU-Turkey relations are back on the European Council agenda at the end of the month. Number 4. The EU-Russia relationship has not only grown increasingly conflict-ridden in itself, some might even claim the complete absence of a true European strategy towards Russia. Distinct national approaches towards Russia lie at the heart of the EU's challenge and are currently also visible in the still ongoing debate over Nord Stream 2. Indeed, this pipeline project endangers not only the EU's relationship towards its eastern partners and the US, but also Germany's relationship towards its European and American partners altogether. Number 5. At the end of last year, the EU concluded a comprehensive agreement on investment with China. Now, the Union faces the dilemma between becoming a more assertive global actor by itself and rebuilding the transatlantic relationship. In fact, the agreement shows that Brussels and Washington have difficulties to implement a common policy response towards China, even though convergence exists on many fundamental issues. Number 6. With the arrival of the new Biden administration, hopes will also high on the US return to the nuclear deal with Iran. However, Washington demands Tehran's full compliance prior to returning to the JCPOA itself. The clock is ticking as, according to pessimistic scenario estimates, the breakout time could be reduced to 4 months by now. Therefore, the EU will need to plan and implement a common course with the US and become a more proactive player in order to bring both Tehran and Washington back to the negotiation table. Number 7. Influenced by the political dynamics between global actors like the US, Russia or China, and their growing interest into the circumpolar region, the times of Arctic exceptionalism might be over. As environmental, economic and security concerns are closely intertwined, the Arctic constitutes a very complex foreign policy challenge to the EU, which the Union will address in its new Arctic strategy to be released at the end of this year. Number 8. In contrast to Russia, China or India, the EU has not made diplomatic capital by offering surplus equipment or vaccines to those in need. Hence, the Union faces the challenge that its eastern neighbourhood is caught in a geopolitical dilemma about vaccine procurement. Therefore, vaccine diplomacy and its role for the EU's self-conception as civilian or soft power will become another development to follow up on. Number 9. The implications of democracy decay and increasing vulnerability of conflict-affected populations are challenges which the EU will continue to face. According to Freedom House, democracy and human rights have deteriorated in 80 countries worldwide since the pandemic breakout. In fact, the pandemic affects societies disproportionately, and therefore poverty and insecurity will grow for the most vulnerable. In that sense, has COVID-19 acted as a conflict multiplier.